Let's talk about anger. That statement alone probably stirs something inside you, doesn't it? Because we've all been there. That moment when your blood boils, your heart races, and words spill out of your mouth that you wish you could swallow back. Anger is one of those universal experiences, a common thread that connects us all. It's deeply human, perhaps even too human. We experience it when we feel wronged, disrespected, or frustrated. But here's the tricky part. Anger feels powerful. In the moment, it feels justified, righteous even. Yet, if you're honest with yourself, how many times has it actually improved your situation? Think back to your last outburst. Did yelling solve the problem? Did slamming the door fix anything? Or did it leave you feeling hollow, ashamed, and more entrenched in whatever issue sparked it? That's the paradox of anger. It promises release, but delivers regret. The ancient Stoics, wise as they were, considered anger one of the most destructive emotions. Seneca described it as a kind of temporary insanity, and you can see why. When you're angry, you're not yourself. You're irrational, impulsive, and blind to reason. You might feel justified in the moment, but when the haze clears, you're often left picking up the pieces of your own wreckage. This begs the question, can we live without anger? Not in the sense of never feeling it, that's impossible, but in the sense of not letting it rule us. That's what this journey is about. Understanding anger for what it is, learning from the wisdom of those who've studied it, and ultimately taking control of it before it takes control of you. Now, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. Only 15% of my audience is currently subscribed, so if these insights resonate with you, I'd love for you to join our community and turn on the notification bell to stay updated. Let's frame anger with a metaphor. Picture a single spark landing on dry grass. At first, it's just a flicker, a tiny flame, harmless and almost forgettable. But then the wind picks up and the spark catches. It ignites the grass, spreads to the bushes, and soon the flames are climbing trees, roaring louder with every passing second. Before long, it's not a spark anymore. It's a full-blown wildfire. That's anger. It starts small, maybe as a rude comment, a missed deadline, or a careless driver cutting you off in traffic. Harmless, right? But then it grows. You replay the comment in your mind, exaggerate its intent, and before you know it, you're consumed. And like a wildfire, anger doesn't discriminate. It destroys everything: relationships, opportunities, peace of mind, and it doesn't stop until there's nothing left. The wildfire metaphor isn't just poetic, it's painfully accurate. Anger spreads through our lives just like fire spreads through a forest. Think about it. One bad moment at work, your boss snaps at you, can ruin your whole day. You take that anger home, snap at your spouse, who then gets irritated and snaps at the kids, who then argue with each other. It's a chain reaction. The spark from earlier? It's now a raging inferno. The Stoics understood this well. They taught that the key to mastering anger lies in recognizing it early, when it's just a spark, and extinguishing it before it spreads. Easier said than done, right? But the first step is awareness. If you don't recognize the fire, you'll never put it out. Let's not sugarcoat it. Anger is bad for you. Not just in the moral sense, but in every sense, physically, emotionally, and socially. Let's start with your body. When you're angry, your brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate spikes, your blood pressure rises, and your body enters fight or flight mode. This response is great if you're facing a bear in the woods, but not so great if you're arguing with your partner over whose turn it is to do the dishes. Over time, this constant stress damages your body, Chronic anger has been linked to heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure, and even a weakened immune system. Think about that. Your anger isn't just a mental state, it's a physical poison. Emotionally, anger isolates you. It's a repellent. When you're constantly angry, people avoid you. They walk on eggshells trying not to set you off, and over time, relationships erode. Nobody likes being around someone who's always on edge. And then there's the regret. After the anger fades, you're left with the aftermath, the things you said, the bridges you burned, the damage you caused. You replay the scene in your head, wishing you could take it back, but the words are already out there, and the damage is done. Socially, anger can ruin opportunities. Imagine you're in a job interview, and the interviewer asks a question that irritates you. Instead of staying calm, you let your frustration show. You get defensive, maybe even sarcastic. What do you think happens next? You don't get the job. Or imagine you're leading a team at work, but you're known for your temper. Do you think your team respects you? Do you think they'll be honest with you? Probably not. Anger creates barriers. It shuts people out, and it shuts down opportunities. History is full of lessons about the destructive power of anger. Take Alexander the Great, for instance. Here was a man who conquered most of the known world by the age of 30, a brilliant strategist and leader, but in a fit of rage, he killed Clytus, one of his closest friends and most trusted generals. Clytus had criticized Alexander during a banquet, and instead of brushing it off or addressing it calmly, Alexander's temper flared. He grabbed a spear and killed Clytus on the spot. The moment the anger subsided, Alexander was filled with regret, but it was too late. Clytus was dead, and Alexander had to live with the weight of that decision for the rest of his life. Or consider Julius Caesar, whose frustration with his political rivals ultimately led to his assassination. While anger wasn't the sole cause, it fueled many of his impulsive decisions, pushing him toward actions that alienated even his closest allies. Anger blinds us. It narrows our vision, making us focus only on the moment, not the long-term consequences. And it's not just ancient history. In modern times, we see CEOs losing their positions over angry outbursts, athletes tarnishing their careers with temper tantrums, and politicians ruining their reputations with impulsive remarks. Anger has toppled empires, ended careers, and destroyed relationships. The question is, are you going to let it do the same to you? The Stoics were clear. Anger isn't an external force. It's an internal reaction. Think about that for a moment. It's not the traffic jam that makes you angry, it's your judgment about the traffic jam. It's not the rude cashier or the critical co-worker, it's the meaning you assign to their actions. Marcus Aurelius put it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That's the Stoic approach to anger. It's not about suppressing your feelings, it's about understanding them. Why am I angry? Is this worth my peace? What can I control in this situation? These questions shift the focus from the external world to your internal state, where the real battle is. Seneca, another great Stoic, had a particularly powerful insight. He said, "Anger is like a brief madness. When you're angry, you lose your grip on reason. You act impulsively, say things you don't mean, and make decisions you'll regret." The Stoics believed that true strength lies in self-control, not in lashing out, but in staying calm. It's not about being passive or letting people walk all over you. It's about responding thoughtfully, not reacting impulsively. So, here's the challenge. The next time you feel anger rising, pause, just for a moment. Ask yourself, is this worth it? What's really making me angry? Can I control this situation or just my response to it? These questions might seem simple, but they're incredibly powerful. They force you to step back from the wildfire before it spreads. They give you a moment of clarity in the chaos. This is just the beginning. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into practical strategies for managing anger, ways to reframe your perspective, practice mindfulness, and embrace silence. But for now, take a moment to reflect. Think about the times anger has controlled you. Think about the times you've let that spark turn into a wildfire. And then ask yourself, are you ready to take back control? Let's be honest. I'll say it plainly. Anger feels powerful, doesn't it? In the heat of the moment, it's as if the entire world bends to the force of your rage. But, as we touched on before, the strength that anger promises is an illusion. The question isn't whether we'll feel angry, we all will, but whether we'll let that anger dictate our actions. You see, anger, at its core, is a reaction, not an inevitability. What if I told you that the secret to mastering anger isn't in suppressing it, but in reframing how you perceive it in the first place? That's what this section is about, breaking the habit of reactive anger and adopting strategies that put you back in control. In the power of perception, have you ever noticed how two people can experience the exact same event but react completely differently? Let's say you're at a cafe, waiting for your coffee, and the barista forgets your order. One person might sigh, shrug it off, and patiently wait. Another might huff, glare, and demand, "Where's my coffee?" The event is identical, but the reactions couldn't be more different. What's the difference? Perception. The Stoics were masters of this concept. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That means anger isn't caused by the external event. It's caused by your judgment of the event. Let's apply this to something more personal. Say someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate perception might be, "That jerk just disrespected me." But what if you reframed it? What if instead you thought, maybe they're rushing to the hospital? You see how the story you tell yourself changes everything? This isn't about excusing bad behavior, it's about protecting your peace. Reframing is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. The next time something irritates you, pause and ask, is this really about me? Could there be another explanation? 9 times out of 10, the answer is yes. You're not the center of the universe, and that's a liberating thought. Practice the pause. Let's talk about pausing. Not the kind of pause you take when your Wi-Fi is buffering, but a deliberate, intentional pause. A moment of stillness before you react. This is one of the most effective tools for controlling anger, and it's deceptively simple. Picture this. You're in a heated argument. Your heart's racing and you're ready to unleash a verbal tsunami. But then you stop. You count to 10. You breathe. Just that pause, those 10 seconds, can mean the difference between saying something you'll regret and responding with clarity. The Stoics weren't strangers to this concept. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advised, "You always have the option to have no opinion." Let that sink in. You don't have to react. You can choose silence. You can choose peace. Modern neuroscience backs this up. When you pause, you give your brain's rational part, your prefrontal cortex, a chance to regain control from your emotional amygdala. This isn't just philosophy, it's biology. A practical way to train this habit is through mindfulness exercises. Spend 5 minutes a day practicing controlled breathing. It might feel trivial, but when you're in the heat of the moment, that practice will kick in like a reflex. Focusing on what you can control. Here's a truth you might not like. Most of what happens in life is out of your control. Traffic, weather, other people's opinions, these are all beyond your reach. But here's the Stoic insight that will change your life. While you can't control external events, you can always control your response to them. Let's go back to our friend Marcus Aurelius. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine the freedom in that. Imagine not being at the mercy of every rude comment, every delayed flight, every unexpected inconvenience. This isn't about ignoring problems, it's about focusing your energy where it matters most. A practical exercise is to make 2 lists, one of things you can control and one of things you can't. Let's say your boss criticizes your work. Can you control their opinion? Number. But you can control how you respond. You can choose to learn from the feedback or let it ruin your day. The point is to direct your energy toward actions that are productive, not reactions that are destructive. Understanding the root of your anger. Here's something most people don't realize. Anger is rarely about the surface issue. More often than not, it's a mask for something deeper: hurt, fear, insecurity. The Stoics understood this, and they encouraged self-reflection as a tool to uncover the root of your emotions. Ask yourself, why am I really angry? Let's say you're upset because your partner forgot your anniversary. On the surface, it's about the missed date. But dig deeper. Is it really about the date, or is it about feeling unimportant? Once you identify the real issue, you can address it in a meaningful way. This doesn't just diffuse anger, it strengthens relationships. Journaling is a powerful tool for this kind of introspection. Spend 5 minutes at the end of each day writing about moments that triggered your anger. What happened? How did you feel? What was the deeper issue? Over time, patterns will emerge, and you'll gain insights that help you break the cycle. Let me ask you something. Have you ever done something in a moment of weakness that you regret? Of course you have. We all have. Now, what if you extended that same understanding to others? What if, instead of reacting with anger, you responded with compassion? Compassion doesn't mean condoning bad behavior. It means recognizing that everyone is struggling with something, and often their actions have nothing to do with you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, 'Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. But I can't be harmed by them. They are just like me, fallible and human.'" Here's a practical way to practice compassion. The next time someone irritates you, pause and imagine their life. Maybe the rude cashier is having a terrible day. Maybe the driver who cut you off just got bad news. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it shifts your focus from anger to understanding. And that shift is where peace begins. Here's the truth. Life is unpredictable. There will always be people and situations that challenge you. The goal isn't to eliminate anger entirely, that's impossible, but to build the resilience to handle it. Think of it like training for a marathon. You don't train by avoiding hills, you train by running them. In the same way, every frustrating moment is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience. One way to do this is through visualization. The Stoics called it premeditation of evils. Before you start your day, take a moment to imagine potential challenges. A rude co-worker, a long line at the store, an argument with your partner. Picture yourself staying calm and composed. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you prepare yourself to respond thoughtfully when they arise. Let's recap. Anger is a reaction, not a requirement. By reframing your perception, pausing before you react, focusing on what you can control, and cultivating compassion, you can take back the power that anger steals from you. But here's the thing, these strategies are only effective if you practice them, so start small. Pick one technique and commit to it this week. Maybe it's pausing when you feel irritated, or maybe it's journaling about your triggers. Whatever it is, take that first step. Remember, mastering anger isn't about perfection. It's about progress. In the next part, we'll dive even deeper, exploring how mindfulness, gratitude, and forgiveness can transform your relationship with anger. But for now, reflect on what we've covered. Think about the ways anger has held you back and imagine the freedom of living without it. Are you ready to take that next step? Now some exciting news. Our channel now offers a live stream, streaming Stoic wisdom and insights around the clock. Plus, by joining our members club, you'll unlock exclusive benefits, deeper content dives, and personal insights. Join us on this journey, and let's build a meaningful life together. And I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write "better every day," so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly paused? Not just a moment of physical stillness, but a mental pause, a moment when you stopped, observed your thoughts, and let them settle like sediment in a glass of water. In today's world, we rarely allow ourselves the luxury of true stillness. Instead, we react to emails, to texts, to comments, to interruptions. And in that constant state of reaction, anger finds fertile ground to grow. But there's another way. Through mindfulness, gratitude, and forgiveness, we can anchor ourselves in calm, no matter how turbulent the storm around us becomes. This part explores these powerful tools, offering you practical ways to make them part of your daily life. Mindfulness, the art of staying present. Have you ever noticed how much of your anger comes not from the present moment, but from the stories you tell yourself about it? Imagine you're waiting in a long line at the grocery store. The person ahead of you is fumbling with their wallet, and you're already late for a meeting. What happens? Your mind starts spinning. Why is this person so slow? Don't they realize people are waiting? Now I'm going to be late, and it's their fault. In reality, the situation is neutral. You're just standing in line. But your thoughts transform it into an infuriating ordeal. This is where mindfulness comes in. At its core, mindfulness is about staying present, observing what's happening without judgment or elaboration. The Stoics didn't call it mindfulness, but the concept was central to their philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, for example, constantly reminded himself to focus on the present. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." When you strip away the stories, the judgments, and the what-ifs, most situations lose their sting. You're just in a line. You're just sitting in traffic. You're just hearing a comment. Practicing mindfulness doesn't mean ignoring problems or denying emotions. It means creating space between stimulus and response. When something triggers your anger, instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You observe the sensation of anger, the tightness in your chest, the heat in your face, and you let it pass without feeding it. It's like watching a cloud drift by instead of chasing it. A practical way to build mindfulness is through meditation. Start small. Spend 5 minutes each morning sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate the ability to stay calm and present, even in challenging situations. Gratitude, shifting focus to what you have. Let's be real, anger often comes from focusing on what we lack. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you think, how dare they? They disrespected me. A colleague gets promoted over you and you think, that should have been mine. It's always about what you didn't get, what you deserved, what you're missing. But what if, instead of focusing on what's missing, you focused on what you already have? Gratitude is one of the most transformative emotions because it shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. When you're grateful, anger has no room to grow. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the privilege of being alive. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Imagine starting your day with that mindset. How different would your interactions be? Here's a practical exercise. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. It could be as simple as, I had a good cup of coffee, or I saw a beautiful sunset. The act of noticing and appreciating these moments rewires your brain to focus on the positive. Over time, you'll find yourself becoming less reactive and more at peace. Gratitude also helps you reframe challenges. Let's say you're stuck in traffic. Instead of fuming, you could think, I'm grateful I have a car. I'm grateful I have a job to drive to. This doesn't mean ignoring frustrations. It means not letting them consume you. Forgiveness, releasing the burden of anger. Now, let's talk about forgiveness. This one's tough, isn't it? When someone wrongs you, the natural reaction is to hold on to anger as if it's a shield, a way to protect yourself from being hurt again. But here's the truth. Anger isn't a shield, it's a chain. It keeps you tethered to the very person or event that caused your pain. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is freedom. It's not about letting the other person off the hook. It's about unburdening yourself. The Stoics saw forgiveness as a form of strength. They believed that holding on to anger only harms the person carrying it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to not be like your enemy." In other words, by forgiving, you rise above the situation. You take back control. But how do you forgive someone who's hurt you deeply? Start small. Begin by acknowledging your anger. Write it down. Be honest about how you feel. Then ask yourself, is this anger helping me, or is it keeping me stuck? The answer is almost always the latter. From there, try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. What might have led them to act the way they did? This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it helps you understand it. And understanding is the first step to letting go. Sometimes forgiveness takes time, and that's okay. It's not a switch you flip, it's a process. But every step you take toward forgiveness is a step away from anger and a step toward peace. The interconnection of these tools. Here's the beautiful thing about mindfulness, gratitude, and forgiveness. They're all connected. Mindfulness helps you stay present, which makes it easier to notice the good things in your life and feel grateful for them. Gratitude shifts your focus away from anger, making it easier to forgive. And forgiveness clears the emotional clutter, creating more space for mindfulness and gratitude. Together, these practices create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your ability to master anger. Imagine a day where you start with mindfulness, pausing to set your intentions for the day. Throughout the day, you notice moments of gratitude, a kind word from a coworker, the warmth of the sun on your face. And when someone inevitably frustrates you, instead of reacting with anger, you take a deep breath and choose to forgive. That's not just a good day, that's a life well lived. The power of inner freedom. Mastering anger isn't about suppressing it. It's about transforming it, using tools like mindfulness, gratitude, and forgiveness to turn it into something constructive. It's about choosing peace over conflict, understanding over judgment, and freedom over chains. These practices aren't quick fixes, they're lifelong habits. But the more you practice, the stronger they become. So, here's your challenge. Start today. Pick one of these tools and commit to practicing it. Maybe it's 5 minutes of mindfulness in the morning. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for at night. Or maybe it's taking the first step toward forgiving someone who's hurt you. Whatever you choose, know this. Every step you take brings you closer to the calm, centered life you deserve. In the next part, we'll explore how embracing stillness and trusting the natural order can further deepen your ability to navigate life without anger. But for now, take a moment to reflect, breathe, and remember, the power to change is already within you. Of the strength found in stillness, silence. It's a word that carries weight, doesn't it? In our noisy, fast-paced lives, silence can feel like a luxury, something fleeting and rare. But here's the thing, stillness, true, intentional stillness, isn't just a break from noise, it's a source of strength. The Stoics believed that stillness was where wisdom lived, where clarity emerged, and where anger dissolved. Today, we'll explore how embracing stillness and trusting in the natural order of life can help you master your anger, find inner peace, and reclaim control over your emotions. Stillness, the pause that empowers. Imagine a lake, its surface calm and mirror-like, reflecting the sky above. Now imagine tossing a stone into it. The water ripples, distorting the image, scattering the calm. Anger is the stone. It disrupts the peace of your mind, sending waves of frustration, regret, and chaos through your life. But what happens if you leave the lake undisturbed? It remains calm, serene, and beautiful. That's the power of stillness. Stillness isn't just about silence. It's about creating space. Space to think, to reflect, and to choose your response. When you're still, you're not reactive. You're deliberate. You can observe your anger without being consumed by it. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Practicing stillness doesn't mean withdrawing from the world. It's not about isolating yourself or avoiding problems. It's about finding moments of calm amidst the chaos. A simple way to practice stillness is to carve out time each day, just 10 minutes, to sit quietly, away from distractions. No phone, no TV, no conversation, just you and your thoughts. At first, this might feel uncomfortable. You might notice how restless your mind is, how quickly it leaps from one thought to the next. But over time, you'll notice something remarkable. The more still you become, the more control you gain over your emotions. Finding wisdom in the natural order. Have you ever looked up at the stars on a clear night? There's something humbling about it, isn't there? The vastness of the universe, the quiet order of it all. It reminds you of how small and fleeting our individual worries are. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that the universe operates according to a natural order, a flow that's far greater than any one of us. Their advice? Don't fight it, trust it. The Stoic principle of amor fati, literally love of fate, encourages us to embrace everything that happens, good or bad, as part of the natural order. When you resist life's challenges, you create friction, and that friction often manifests as anger. But when you accept life as it is, not as you wish it to be, you find peace. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you're caught in a sudden rainstorm. You didn't bring an umbrella, and now you're soaked. You have two choices. You can fume about the inconvenience, cursing the weather, or you can accept it, maybe even enjoy the sensation of rain on your skin. The rainstorm isn't personal, it's just nature doing its thing. Your anger doesn't change the rain, it only makes you miserable. Trusting the natural order doesn't mean being passive or giving up control. It means recognizing the limits of your control and finding serenity within those boundaries. When you let go of the illusion that life should always go your way, you free yourself from the anger that comes when it doesn't. Responding wisely to life's challenges. The world is unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. Obstacles will arise. That's not pessimism, it's reality. The question isn't whether these things will happen, it's how you'll respond when they do. The Stoics believed that every challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue. Anger, then, is not a failure, it's a test. Let's say a colleague takes credit for your idea at work. Your first instinct might be to lash out, to confront them in anger. But what if instead you paused? What if you saw this moment as an opportunity to practice patience and assertiveness without losing your temper? By responding wisely, you not only preserve your integrity, but you also gain the respect of others. And most importantly, you maintain your peace. Here's a practical exercise. The next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what virtue can I practice here? It might be patience, courage, humility, or forgiveness. This shift in focus, from the obstacle to the opportunity, transforms anger into growth. In the role of perspective, seeing the bigger picture. Sometimes, anger feels all-encompassing. In the heat of the moment, it's hard to see beyond your frustration. But one of the most powerful tools for mastering anger is perspective. The Stoics often reflected on the vastness of the universe and the brevity of human life as a way to put their problems into context. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe how ephemeral and insignificant human life is compared with the vastness of the cosmos." Think about a time you were furious. Maybe you missed a flight, or someone said something hurtful. At the time, it probably felt like the end of the world. But now, looking back, how significant does it feel? Chances are, it barely registers. That's the power of perspective. It reminds you that most of the things we get angry about are fleeting and inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. The next time you feel anger rising, take a step back, literally if you can. Go for a walk, look at the sky, or simply take a deep breath and remind yourself, this too shall pass. You'll be amazed at how quickly your perspective shifts. The strength of forgiveness. We've touched on forgiveness before, but it's worth revisiting because it's one of the most powerful antidotes to anger. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of resentment. When you hold on to anger, you're the one who suffers. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. The Stoics believed that forgiveness stems from understanding. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that people act out of ignorance, not malice. He wrote, "Whenever someone has done wrong by you, immediately consider what notion of good or evil they had in doing it. When you see that, you'll feel compassion instead of astonishment or rage." Here's a practical exercise. Think of someone who has wronged you. Instead of focusing on what they did, try to understand why they did it. What fears, insecurities, or misunderstandings might have driven their actions. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it helps you see them as human, and that makes forgiveness possible. Closing thoughts. Choosing peace. Anger is a natural emotion, but it doesn't have to define you. By embracing stillness, trusting the natural order, and practicing forgiveness, you can break free from the grip of anger and live a life rooted in peace and purpose. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing that you have a choice to respond thoughtfully, to let go of what you can't control, and to focus on what truly matters. So, as we close this journey, let me leave you with this. The next time you feel anger rising, pause, breathe, reflect, and remember, you're not a slave to your emotions, you're the master of them. Every moment is a chance to choose calm over chaos, growth over grudges, and peace over conflict. The power is in your hands. What will you choose? Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day. Imagine waking up each day feeling more grounded, focused, and connected, not just to your goals, but to the people and world around you. What if 7 simple habits, inspired by the wisdom of ancient Stoics and some of the greatest thinkers in history, could help you achieve that sense of balance and fulfillment? In this journey, we'll uncover practical, life-changing habits rooted in philosophy, science, and the lives of remarkable historical figures. From the power of gratitude to the freedom of letting go, these 7 practices will show you how to face challenges with courage, live with intention, and cultivate a life of joy and purpose. So, whether you're seeking mental clarity, emotional resilience, or just a little peace in a chaotic world, these habits are your blueprint for a better life, starting today. Ready to take the first step? Let's begin. Now, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. Only 15% of my audience is currently subscribed, so if these insights resonate with you, I'd love for you to join our community and turn on the notification bell to stay updated. Gratitude, the foundation of a better life. Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can adopt to improve your life instantly. It is the art of recognizing and appreciating the good things in your life, no matter how small or grand they may seem. But gratitude is more than just a fleeting feeling. It is a habit that rewires your mind, shifts your perspective, and fundamentally changes how you experience the world. Why is gratitude so powerful? Modern psychology tells us that our brains have a natural negativity bias. This means we're hardwired to focus on threats, challenges, and what's missing in our lives. While this bias was useful for our survival in prehistoric times, it can make us chronically dissatisfied in today's world. Gratitude counters this negativity bias by redirecting your focus toward what is working, what is good, and what you already have. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can lower stress levels, improve mental health, and even strengthen your immune system. Gratitude reduces anxiety and depression by helping you step out of the cycle of rumination, when your mind gets stuck on problems or worries, and into a more balanced state of awareness. Gratitude is deeply rooted in ancient philosophy, especially Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, often reflected on gratitude in his personal writings. Despite bearing the immense weight of ruling an empire, Marcus began many of his journal entries with reflections on what he appreciated, whether it was the advice of his mentors, the loyalty of his allies, or even small pleasures in nature. In his meditations, Marcus wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This simple exercise grounded him, allowing him to focus on his responsibilities without becoming overwhelmed by the pressures of leadership. Gratitude was not merely a passive sentiment for the Stoics, it was a conscious, active practice. Another figure who exemplified the power of gratitude was Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. Roosevelt faced enormous challenges throughout his life, from debilitating childhood illnesses to personal tragedies, including the loss of his first wife and mother on the same day. Yet he remained one of history's most energetic, optimistic leaders. Roosevelt found gratitude in nature, family, and his mission to serve the public. His daily habit of reflecting on the blessings of his life kept him motivated, even during moments of great hardship. He famously said, "Do what you can, with what you have, where you are." This philosophy is rooted in gratitude, an acknowledgement of what you already possess and how you can use it to create meaningful change. Here's how you can incorporate gratitude into your daily routine. 1. Morning reflection. Upon waking, take a few minutes to identify 3 things you are grateful for. These could be as simple as the bed you slept in, the warmth of sunlight streaming through your window, or the opportunity to start a new day. 2nd, gratitude journal. Keep a small notebook where you write down your daily reflections. Writing helps solidify these thoughts in your mind and gives you a record to look back on during tougher times. 3. Express gratitude to others. Take a moment to thank someone in your life, whether it's a friend, colleague, or family member, for something they've done. Gratitude shared is gratitude multiplied. When you practice gratitude, you train your brain to focus on the positives. Over time, you'll notice that your perspective on life shifts. Instead of feeling consumed by what you lack or fear, you'll start seeing abundance, opportunities, and joy in the everyday moments. Imagine that life is like a garden. Every morning, gratitude is the sunlight that nourishes the flowers. Without it, the garden remains in shadow, and its beauty is hidden. Let gratitude illuminate your day, allowing you to see and appreciate what's already blooming around you. Negative visualization. Embrace what could go wrong. At first glance, the idea of negative visualization might seem counterintuitive. Why would anyone want to imagine bad things happening? Yet this Stoic practice is one of the most effective ways to prepare your mind for life's uncertainties while increasing your appreciation for what you have. What is negative visualization? Negative visualization involves imagining potential challenges, losses, or obstacles in your life. This might sound like inviting negativity into your mind, but the intention is quite the opposite. By mentally rehearsing worst-case scenarios, you can 1. Strengthen your resilience, 2. Prepare yourself emotionally for hardships, 3. Deepen your gratitude for what you have. The practice is rooted in the Stoic principle of premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. By contemplating potential losses, whether it's losing a job, a loved one, or a cherished possession, you prepare yourself to face life's inevitable challenges with greater composure. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, was a strong advocate of negative visualization. He believed that fear of the unknown often magnifies suffering. In his letters he advised, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." For Seneca, the act of imagining misfortune wasn't about becoming pessimistic. It was about stripping fear of its ability to surprise or paralyze you. When you visualize potential losses or hardships, you're better equipped to navigate them calmly if they occur. The practice of negative visualization wasn't confined to philosophers. Roman generals routinely employed this technique before entering battle. They would consider the worst outcomes, defeat, betrayal, or the loss of soldiers, and prepare their strategies accordingly. By facing these fears in advance, they could approach the battlefield with clarity and confidence. One such general was Julius Caesar. Before making the fateful decision to cross the Rubicon, a move that would lead to civil war and forever change Roman history, Caesar carefully weighed the consequences of failure. His ability to confront these possibilities head-on allowed him to act decisively, ultimately shaping his legacy. Here's a simple way to start practicing this powerful habit. 1. Set aside time. Dedicate 5 to 10 minutes each day to this exercise. 2. Identify a key aspect of your life. Think about something you deeply value, such as your health, a loved one, or a professional goal. 3. Imagine its absence. Visualize what life would be like if that thing were lost. What emotions would you feel? How would you cope? What steps could you take to rebuild or adapt? 4. Reflect on its value. After imagining the loss, return to the present and appreciate that this aspect of your life is still here. Notice how much more precious it feels. Negative visualization reduces fear by normalizing it. When you familiarize yourself with the idea of potential setbacks, they lose their power to destabilize you. Instead of living in fear of the unknown, you develop a sense of calm preparedness. Additionally, the practice deepens your appreciation for the present, as it reminds you not to take anything for granted. Life is like sailing on an open sea. Negative visualization is the act of studying the clouds and winds, preparing for storms before they arrive. When the waves rise, you won't be caught off guard. You'll have your sails ready. Gratitude and negative visualization might seem like contrasting practices. One focuses on the positives, while the other confronts the negatives. Yet they are deeply complementary. Together, they form a balanced foundation for emotional resilience and personal growth. As you begin incorporating these habits into your life, you'll notice a profound shift in how you view your circumstances. Gratitude opens your eyes to the abundance already around you, while negative visualization strengthens your ability to face life's uncertainties without fear. 3. Do one thing that scares you. He who is brave is free. Seneca. Fear is a natural part of life. It signals uncertainty and risk, two things that the human mind instinctively avoids. Yet, as the Stoics and countless great thinkers have taught us, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. What if every day you did one thing that scared you? How would that change the way you see the world and yourself? Consider the story of Theodore Roosevelt. As a child, Roosevelt was frail, asthmatic, and plagued by physical weakness. Yet, instead of succumbing to his condition, he chose to challenge it. He trained rigorously, engaging in strenuous activities that terrified him, like boxing and hunting. By consistently stepping out of his comfort zone, Roosevelt transformed himself into the epitome of rugged masculinity and resilience. His do-it-anyway attitude became a defining trait, shaping his approach to life and leadership. This practice isn't about recklessly throwing yourself into dangerous situations. Instead, it's about identifying fears that hold you back from growth and meeting them head-on. Whether it's public speaking, initiating a tough conversation, or attempting something new, the act of confronting fear strengthens your resolve. How does this make life better? Fear often exaggerates the stakes of any challenge, creating an outsized mental obstacle. By regularly confronting what scares you, you develop a deeper understanding of your capabilities. Over time, the things that once seemed daunting lose their power over you, and you unlock a confidence that extends into every aspect of your life. Historical example. When Mahatma Gandhi began his work as a lawyer in South Africa, he was paralyzed by fear during his first courtroom case. He barely managed to utter a word, but instead of retreating, he took this failure as an opportunity to grow, eventually becoming one of history's most fearless advocates for justice. Stoic metaphor. Fear is like a shadow cast by a small object in a bright light. The closer you get to it, the smaller it becomes until it vanishes entirely. Each time you face your fears, you diminish their ability to control you. 4. Take control of the morning. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. The way you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. While most people wake up and immediately reach for their phones, reacting to notifications and emails, a mindful morning routine is about creating space to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically for the day ahead. Start small. Begin your day with 5 minutes of quiet reflection, gratitude, or journaling. Add stretches or a brisk walk to awaken your body. The point is not to overcomplicate your mornings, but to design them with intention. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, was a master of the purposeful morning. Despite the immense pressures of running an empire, he would spend his mornings in quiet contemplation, reminding himself of his duty, his values, and the challenges he might face. This practice grounded him, allowing him to approach his responsibilities with clarity and calm. Modern psychology supports this practice. Studies show that having a consistent morning routine reduces decision fatigue and enhances productivity. By starting your day proactively, you build momentum that carries into your tasks, relationships, and goals. A structured morning puts you in control. Instead of reacting to external pressures, you set the agenda. This intentionality reduces stress, improves focus, and creates a sense of accomplishment before the day has even begun. Benjamin Franklin began each day by asking himself, "What good shall I do this day?" This simple question guided his actions and helped him align his mornings with his values, making him one of the most productive and influential figures in history. A ship that sets sail without a compass risks aimlessly drifting. Your morning is that compass, guiding you toward a purposeful day. 5. Reflect on the day with an evening review. I will keep constant watch over myself and, most usefully, will put each day up for review. Seneca. As your day comes to a close, how often do you reflect on what you've achieved, learned, or experienced? An evening review is one of the most powerful habits for personal growth. It's a chance to celebrate your wins, learn from your mistakes, and prepare for a better tomorrow. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, advocated for this practice in his writings. Each night, he would ask himself, "What bad habit have I cured today? What temptations have I resisted? What virtue have I acquired?" This nightly introspection wasn't about self-criticism, but self-improvement. By consistently reviewing his actions, Seneca ensured that he remained aligned with his values. To start your evening review, write down or mentally reflect on 3 things. 1. What went well today? 2. What could I have done better? 3. What am I grateful for? This practice is deeply grounding. It allows you to course correct without guilt and to end the day with a sense of closure. Reflection creates self-awareness, which is the foundation of meaningful growth. By acknowledging your successes and learning from your missteps, you build a mindset of continuous improvement. It also promotes better sleep, as the act of reviewing and resolving the day's events calms the mind. Thomas Edison kept detailed journals where he reflected on his experiments, failures, and successes. This habit not only fueled his creativity, but also helped him persist in the face of countless challenges, leading to groundbreaking innovations. The day is a garden. Evening reflection is the act of tending to it, removing weeds, nurturing growth, and ensuring tomorrow's blooms are brighter. 6. Serve someone selflessly. What we do for ourselves dies with us. What we do for others and the world remains and is immortal. Albert Pine. Service to others is one of the most fulfilling actions you can take. Whether it's helping a stranger, listening to a friend, or volunteering for a cause, acts of kindness connect us to our shared humanity. For the Stoics, this wasn't just a moral duty, it was an essential part of living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius believed that humans are like limbs of the same body, meant to work together for the greater good. Serving others wasn't about grand gestures, but small, consistent actions that uplifted those around him. Think about a time when someone helped you unexpectedly. How did it make you feel? When you serve others, you not only brighten their day, but also foster your own sense of purpose and well-being. Research shows that altruism releases oxytocin, the feel-good hormone, which reduces stress and enhances happiness. Helping others creates a ripple effect. It improves relationships, strengthens communities, and gives you a sense of meaning. In a world that often feels disconnected, service bridges the gaps and reminds us that we're all in this together. Mother Teresa dedicated her life to serving the poorest and most vulnerable. Her selfless actions inspired millions and demonstrated the profound impact of small, consistent acts of kindness. Kindness is like a flame. It doesn't diminish by sharing but grows brighter, lighting the way for others. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, facing your fears, mastering your mornings, reflecting on your day, and serving others, you build mental strength and resilience. These habits, rooted in ancient wisdom and proven by history, equip you to navigate life's challenges with clarity, courage, and purpose. As you move forward, remember, each day is an opportunity. These small steps, repeated consistently, lead to profound transformation. Now some exciting news. Our channel now offers a live stream, streaming Stoic wisdom and insights around the clock. Plus, by joining our members club, you'll unlock exclusive benefits, deeper content dives, and personal insights. Join us on this journey, and let's build a meaningful life together. And I also humbly ask you to leave a comment, as it helps my channel immensely. If you do not know what to comment, just write "better every day" so I know you reached this far. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Also, I've linked some books on Stoicism that helped me become the man I am today, and will also help you achieve a Stoic mindset. 7. Let go of what you can't control. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. One of the most liberating lessons from Stoic philosophy is the dichotomy of control. The Stoics taught that life becomes infinitely easier when you distinguish between what is within your power and what isn't. By focusing only on the former, you free yourself from the anxiety and frustration caused by futile attempts to control the uncontrollable. Every day, life presents situations that can provoke stress or irritation, a delayed train, a rude comment, or an unexpected setback. Yet these events themselves aren't inherently distressing. It's our interpretation and reaction to them that determines how they affect us. Imagine a storm raging outside. You cannot stop the rain or wind, but you can choose to stay dry by taking shelter. The Stoics believed the same principle applies to life's challenges. While you cannot control external circumstances, you can always control your response. How to practice this daily? 1. When faced with a frustrating situation, pause and ask, "Is this within my control?" 2. If the answer is no, focus on managing your reaction instead of the situation itself. 3. Practice reframing the narrative. Instead of seeing the event as a problem, View it as an opportunity to practice patience or resilience. By letting go of what you can't control, you reduce unnecessary stress and preserve your energy for things that truly matter. This shift in focus fosters inner peace, clarity, and emotional resilience. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, an experience that could have easily broken his spirit. Instead, he chose to focus on his inner freedom, refusing to let his captors dictate his sense of purpose. His ability to control his response to injustice inspired a global movement for equality and forgiveness. Life is a river. You cannot control its flow, but you can choose to navigate its currents with grace. 8. Cultivate mindfulness and presence. Do not let your life be stolen by the future, nor squandered in regret for the past. Seneca. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to live on autopilot, constantly distracted by what's next or what has already passed. The practice of mindfulness, bringing your full attention to the present moment, is a powerful antidote to this. Mindfulness helps you fully experience life as it unfolds, rather than being consumed by worry or regret. Stoicism and Buddhism both emphasize the importance of living in the present. Seneca warned against pre-grieving losses or anxiously anticipating the future, arguing that such habits rob us of life's richness. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to be content to live the smallest part of life and let reason rule. Daily mindfulness practices. 1. Take 5 minutes each day to focus on your breath. Observe the sensations of each inhale and exhale without judgment. 2. Engage fully in one activity, whether it's eating, walking, or talking with a loved one, by putting away distractions and giving it your undivided attention. 3. Reflect on a moment of beauty in your day, a sunrise, a kind word, or the warmth of a cup of tea. Mindfulness reduces stress, enhances focus, and deepens your connection with the world around you. By anchoring yourself in the present, you cultivate gratitude and joy, even in the simplest moments. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, popularized mindfulness as a path to inner peace. His teaching, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet," reflects the transformative power of being fully present in each step. The present moment is like a clear spring. It refreshes and sustains you, but only if you drink from it. 9. Practice self-compassion. Don't treat yourself as if you were your own enemy. Marcus Aurelius. We are often our own harshest critics. Mistakes and failures can trigger spiraling thoughts of self-doubt. But what if, instead of berating yourself, you extended the same kindness you would offer to a friend? Self-compassion is not about excusing bad behavior, but about recognizing your humanity and treating yourself with understanding. The Stoics valued self-improvement, but also understood the importance of balance. Marcus Aurelius acknowledged his own shortcomings with humility, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than reasons for despair. Similarly, Seneca advised practicing forgiveness, not just for others, but for oneself. Daily acts of self-compassion. 1. When you make a mistake, pause and remind yourself, "I'm human, and humans are imperfect." 2. Write down one thing you did well each day, no matter how small. 3. Replace self-criticism with constructive self-reflection. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," try, "How can I improve?" Self-compassion builds resilience, enhances emotional well-being, and fosters a healthier relationship with yourself. It allows you to learn from your mistakes without being paralyzed by them. Eleanor Roosevelt, often plagued by self-doubt, overcame it through practices of self-compassion and reflection. Her ability to forgive herself and persist despite criticism made her one of history's most influential figures. A tree with strong roots sways in the wind, but does not break. Self-compassion strengthens your inner foundation, allowing you to weather life's storms. 10. Align actions with values. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Clarity of values is essential for a meaningful life. Your values act as a compass, guiding your decisions and actions. Yet, in the chaos of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Aligning your actions with your core values creates a sense of purpose and integrity. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good. For the Stoics, this meant living with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By consistently aligning their actions with these principles, they cultivated lives of moral clarity and inner peace. How to align actions with values daily. 1. Begin each day by identifying one action you can take to embody your values. 2. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, does this align with who I want to be? 3. Reflect on your actions in the evening and assess whether they matched your intentions. Living in alignment with your values eliminates inner conflict and regret. It provides a sense of direction and fulfillment, even in challenging times. Mahatma Gandhi's unwavering commitment to non-violence and truth guided his every action. By aligning his life with his values, he inspired a nation and left a legacy of moral leadership. Values are like the North Star. They provide direction in the darkest nights, ensuring you stay on course. Deepening emotional resilience through mindfulness, self-compassion, and value-driven living equips you to navigate life with greater ease and integrity. These practices help you build an unshakable inner foundation, ensuring that external chaos cannot disrupt your inner peace. 11th, serve someone selflessly. What is the essence of life? To serve others and do good. Aristotle. At the heart of human connection lies service. When you help someone without expecting anything in return, you cultivate empathy, strengthen relationships, and experience profound fulfillment. This simple act of giving aligns with Stoic and Buddhist philosophies, both of which emphasize compassion and communal living. Service doesn't have to be grand. It could be as simple as listening to a friend, helping a colleague, or performing a small act of kindness for a stranger. These gestures ripple outward, creating a more harmonious and compassionate world. Daily acts of selfless service. 1. Offer a compliment or encouragement to someone in need of support. 2. Volunteer your time or resources to a cause you care about. 3. Perform a random act of kindness. Pay for someone's coffee, hold a door open, or write a thank you note. Service shifts your focus from inward struggles to outward impact. It fosters gratitude, deepens connections, and reminds you of the shared humanity that binds us all. Mother Teresa's life exemplified the power of selfless service. By dedicating herself to caring for the poorest and most vulnerable, she transformed lives and inspired millions around the globe. Kindness is like a fire. It warms both the giver and the receiver without losing its flame. 12. Reflect on the day with an evening review. I will keep constant watch over myself and, most usefully, will put each day up for review. Seneca reflection is a cornerstone of personal growth. At the end of each day, taking a few moments to evaluate your actions, thoughts, and experiences can illuminate patterns and opportunities for improvement. Evening reflection helps you celebrate progress and identify areas for growth without judgment. The Stoics believed in consistent self-assessment. By examining your behavior and intentions daily, you cultivate self-awareness and align more closely with your values. How to practice. Evening reflection. 1. Ask yourself 3 questions each evening. Oh, what went well today? Oh, what could I have done better? Oh, what did I learn? 2. Write your answers in a journal to track your growth over time. 3. Use reflection as an opportunity to set intentions for the next day. Evening reflection creates a cycle of continuous improvement. By addressing challenges constructively, you wake up with clarity and purpose, ready to tackle the day ahead. Benjamin Franklin famously ended each day with the question, "What good have I done today?" This habit helped him maintain focus and accountability, contributing to his success as a statesman, inventor, and philosopher. The day is a canvas, and reflection is the artist stepping back to see the bigger picture. 13. Seek knowledge and embrace. Lifelong learning. An unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates. Learning isn't confined to classrooms. It's a lifelong journey that keeps your mind sharp, your perspectives broad, and your life enriched. Whether through reading, engaging in meaningful conversations, or exploring new skills, the pursuit of knowledge helps you grow and adapt to life's complexities. The Stoics placed great value on wisdom as a guiding virtue. They believed that understanding the world and oneself was key to living a fulfilled life. By actively seeking knowledge, you build the tools needed to navigate challenges with grace and insight. How to embrace lifelong learning. 1. Dedicate 15 to 30 minutes each day to reading or listening to something that challenges your thinking. 2. Ask questions during conversations and genuinely listen to others' perspectives. 3. Explore a new hobby or skill that sparks your curiosity. Learning enhances your adaptability, confidence, and creativity. It also fosters humility, reminding you that there is always more to understand. Leonardo da Vinci embodied the spirit of lifelong learning. His insatiable curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge in art, science, and engineering made him one of history's greatest polymaths. Knowledge is a lantern. It doesn't eliminate darkness, but provides light to guide your path. 14. Practice forgiveness. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Lewis B. Smedes. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy burden. It drains your energy and clouds your spirit. Letting go of anger and grudges doesn't mean condoning wrongs. It means choosing peace over bitterness. The Stoics encouraged forgiveness as a rational and virtuous response to the imperfections of others. Marcus Aurelius advised reminding oneself, "We are all made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids." How to practice forgiveness. 1. When someone wrongs you, try to understand their perspective. Empathy can dissolve anger. 2. Write a letter expressing your feelings, even if you don't send it. This can help release pent-up emotions. 3. Remind yourself that forgiveness is for your benefit, not theirs. Forgiveness frees you from the emotional weight of anger and resentment, creating space for joy and emotional clarity. Nelson Mandela forgave his captors after decades of imprisonment, choosing reconciliation over vengeance. His forgiveness was a cornerstone of South Africa's transition from apartheid to democracy. Forgiveness is like untying a knot. You free yourself from its constriction. 15. Find joy in the small things. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Epictetus. In the quest for big achievements, it's easy to overlook the simple joys of daily life. A warm cup of tea, a smile from a stranger, or the sound of birdsong. Cultivating an appreciation for these moments enriches your life and grounds you in gratitude. The Stoics believed that contentment comes from valuing what you already have, rather than constantly chasing more. By finding beauty and joy in the ordinary, you anchor yourself in the present and cultivate a lasting sense of well-being. Daily practices for finding joy. 1. Take a moment each day to savor something small, a meal, a conversation, or a walk in nature. 2. Keep a joy journal to record moments that made you smile or brought peace. 3. Share your gratitude and joy with others, spreading positivity. Focusing on small joys reduces stress, improves emotional health, and creates a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Helen Keller, despite her physical limitations, found immense joy in nature, learning, and human connection. Her ability to appreciate life's simplest pleasures inspired millions. Small joys are like stars in the night sky. They may seem distant, but they light up the darkness. Now, my closing thoughts. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you can cultivate emotional resilience, deepen your relationships, and foster a sense of purpose and fulfillment. The wisdom of Stoicism and other philosophies offers timeless guidance, reminding us that true happiness lies not in external achievements, but in how we navigate each moment. Which of these habits will you try today? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing insights inspired by ancient wisdom and modern science. Happiness is not a destination, but a way of living. Begin the journey now. Now, if any part of this message has been helpful to you, leave us your like and comment, helping the algorithm recommend it to someone who needs it at this time. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos. And if you look through the videos we've already uploaded, you're sure to find something to take with you. Have a good day.